must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Is it?
Decisive factor?
MJ, I have been struggling to find the answer to that all game. Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us, he said the thing. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Can I pick Gundam now?
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Uh-oh, here we go.
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
There's 4 deluxe rooms. We only accounted for 3 of them.
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
2 deluxe rooms in Strawberry House, 2 deluxe rooms in Grape House.
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
He'll take care of his hamsters? Oh god. I hadn't even considered that. I think they go with him. Oh no!
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Oh? Because of Fuyuhiko.
Me? After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Yeah, because you can then feign ignorance on the whole soundproofing thing.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
I have hiccups all of a sudden. And again, I just have the pizza. Stupid Beppis. That had a big hiccup a few minutes ago. Wasn't sure if it came through. I don't think the mic picked it up, but I heard it. Don't worry. Just glaring at Meg from across the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone and checked the deluxe rooms.
I don't know. Think, Meg. I am Omni-Man? Question mark? Telling you to think, Meg. Think. Okay, that's probably one of my worst puns, and I apologize.
After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi. Because I was in the lounge. So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? This rocks. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but... how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
I always love that this one is just like, yeah, look at me! Look at me go! I'm awesome! But yes, got him.
Is that your argument? You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm.
Really? That's it?
That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I had to be. Dispute that, motherfuckers. Right?
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean a class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers.
And just die already.
Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
No, wait. That sounds like a threat. Drag it out. Let's see if he's bluffing.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Villainous breakdown.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Digimon Adventure 02 the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
The Octagon. You solved the final dead room before Nagito did.
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, he wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Objection! Wait, that's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Oh. Sure.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As
Fire
long as
Emblem
that
2
elevator
houses?
was broken,
Wait.
your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Yo, give me that, give me
How
that!
much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
The contradiction is when... Okay. I'm gonna find out what that is. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'll shoot through the contradiction.
That elevator was the only means of travel.
Sorry, buddy.
No, that's wrong!
Cunt.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Oh, but it does, and you know it.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito!
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
No. Really? This cutscene again? I'm not reading it again.
There's a secret passage
2 lines, I
connecting
don't
the
care.
first floor of Strawberry House to the 3rd floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the 1st floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down... Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the 3rd floor and the 4th floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Oh boy, the edgelord is angry.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
We were introduced to it when we got here.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
I have an hold on. I have an inkling to just fucking kill Gundam myself and do everyone a favor.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say?
He said he's not gonna stop.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Really? Really? Yeah, sure. Okay. I suppose this would have been at the height of 2010, right? So we were slowly building up the MCU at that stage, so yeah, it makes sense. Also, everyone references the Hulk regardless, but... Wire, good night, tripped over... Has to be the wire sword.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Oh, you piece of shit!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Oh, thank God. Son of a bitch.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood...
Allow me to cut through those words!
I've had enough.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Yeah, swords and polearms and flails and God knows what else. Grenades? Yeah, grenades. Okay.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Oh, is hamster... Are his hamsters dying with each shock?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
Wait, are we not doing the comic book thing?
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
The fuck?
Hey, what do you...
Hey, look, if I don't have to do the fucking PTA thing, have at it, Nagito. Save me from another stupid minigame. Go for it.
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Using the hamsters.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
Well, Akane, you're a different case.
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
Not being able to finish is probably not something to shout out loud about. Yeah, I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Saying what you're hesitant to say, that's what chat is for. And I thank you for it.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied.
Well, of course you're not satisfied. You can't finish. Those two things kind of go hand in hand, you know?
Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. And just as you requested, I'll provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Oh no!
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end! Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you!
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
I said this 3 weeks ago!
Of course that'd be
Maybe
impossible
more,
for a
I don't
normal
know.
hamster.
Spider-Man
It
got
would
in
be
the way.
impossible for Gundam. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of evil. In accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova Silver Fox San D. Choo-choo! Click. It pressed the button? Truly, this is the skyline lamentation art of the demon mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after
Ow, that
Ibuki
hurt.
was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mekamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere.
Wait, is he just like, yeah, okay, come on, kill me. Let's go.
Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Akane, you can get a punch in here. So... Okay. Hold on. There's one. The hammer goes to one of these. Yeah. No, destroyed what? What was the fake weapon? The hammer. Why did Nekomaru fall? Right.
Here's everything that
There
happened
we
in
go.
this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m.
Crash Bandicoot has music.
After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower.
Oh, that is... You guys can't see it because I'm in the way, but... That is unfortunate animation on Mechamaru's other leg. Like... It just looks like he has a stump. That is unfortunate.
So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower.
I'm gonna be honest, when this case is over, I'm gonna be glad. This is probably my least favorite so far.
And to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out.
Nekomaru did deserve better. So much better.
The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30.
That's... Ah, no, wrong one. Wrong button. That's hilarious, though.
To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died.
Ugh. I know he's a robot, but oh, when you say it like that.
The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse.
Oh.
However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru?
Why? Outside of the obvious get off the island, why? Why target Nekomaru, of all characters?
I cannot believe something like that!
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved Deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Everyone can fight back, they don't have sleep buttons. Yeah, I know.